There's a word from the Lord this morning. And if we will turn our Bible to the Gospel according to St. Mark, the 4th chapter, beginning at the 35th verse. The Gospel according to St. Mark, 4th chapter, beginning at the 35th verse. When you found it, say amen. Amen. Let's give it a few pages turning. On the same day when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us cross over to the other side." Don't watch that. Now, when they had left the multitude, they took him along in the boat as he was, and other little boats were also with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat, so that it was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on a pillow. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not know, or do you not care that we are perishing?" Then he arose and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. But he said to them, "Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no faith?" Let's stop there. Stop there. I want to do some stuff there. Do you have faith enough for the storm? Do you have faith enough for the storm? Turn to your neighbor and say, "Neighbor." Hey, neighbor. Hey. Do you have faith enough for the storm? Turn to somebody else that didn't hear you and say, "Neighbor." Hey, neighbor. Do you have faith enough for the storm? Amen. Let us pray. Be eternal, never blessed God, we ask that you bless the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. And Lord, help me not so much to preach a good sermon, but one that will do some good, so that the body of Christ may be edified by having heard it preached. In the glorious name of Jesus we pray. Amen. Amen. Do you have faith enough for the storm? As we all are aware, there was a great storm that hit the East Coast. The storm name was Sandy, and it ravaged the East Coast, many cities, New York, Staten Island, Lower Manhattan, all of New Jersey. Many of you, I've gotten calls through the week asking about my parents, asking about my kinfolk there in Atlantic City. It seemed that the storm had hit so bad until there was an emergency evacuation that Governor Christie had called for, asking days before the storm hit, saying that you should leave the city. There should be no one left there because of the magnitude of this storm that would hit. Lights would be out. Waters would flood. Not only would they flood, they would rise. Homes would be literally destroyed. If you stayed, you were at your own risk. They even said that it would be best for you to leave, and if you stayed, stayed, you would put at risk those who would have to come back and rescue you. Folks gathered their suitcases, gathered their little belongings, and many were called to make sure to be ready because there would be a bus or van that would pick you up at your house, place of residence, to carry you to the evacuation centers that they had around. By 12 noon last Sunday, they were supposed to be packed and ready to go. Other folks dared to stay, dared to take their chance and said, well, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to hunker down. I'm not going to leave. It can't be that bad. Isn't that something? You know, sometimes we feel that way. You know, it can't be that bad. How bad could it be? It never happened this way before. It never came down. It come down your street or somebody else, but it never came down my street like that. Only to find out once folk left, homes were literally destroyed, furniture floating out on the street, appliances floating around, no light, complete darkness, nobody to go back into the city. The storm had done its job. Many only to go back. They said they were able to go back and assess the damage in their home, but you had to be out by 6 o'clock. You would go in the day, and many folks turned away from the places where their homes once were to be there no more. People had gone back to where their places were, and the water was up to their waist. Appliances floating around in the street, TV, flat screen TVs floating around. The sewage water had come up, the smell of human excrement all over, up and down. Can you imagine the damage that the storm had caused? And then I saw some on TV said, my life would never, I lost everything. A woman who understand that. There's nothing left. What will we do from now on? But I heard somebody had said, we'll build back. We'll have it back again. We're together. You know, there were others that raised a glimmer of hope in the midst of this storm. Y'all got time? Man, no time. But then as I looked at this here, I thought to myself, my God, there are some things that we too can learn from this storm here. I would almost call it, John Gerald was almost in my text, I'm going to stop him from coming to 8 o'clock service and waking folk up to what I'm going to preach about at 11 o'clock. But it's almost a perfect storm. Let me show you something. In the midst of all types of unrest, if you're watching the TVs and whatnot, and you're hearing the news pundits and the commentators on TV about the elections and what have you, and you hear them saying that this man will not work with other folks, not reach across the aisle, but here in the 11th hour, here God has a way. God has a way of putting a Republican governor and a Democrat president together in the midst of the storm to show the world, the naysayers, that Republicans and Democrats can work together if they want to. If they want to. After he had gotten so much of a bad rap, God pulling the covers off some stuff and revealing truth to the word. That's why I said this was almost a perfect storm. The other thing, the reason why I talk about perfect storm is because there is another perfect storm. And this storm here does come with sometime without warning. This storm here comes with no rain. This comes, you can't hear the howling of the winds when this storm comes. I mean, it could be sunshine and blue sky, not a whisper of wind. And this storm here can knock you clean off your feet. I'm talking about a perfect storm. No warning, no meteorologist, you understand, to warn you and tell you to get yourself together, get yourself ready because the storm is there. Nobody, no warning, this storm comes. All right. What you talking about, preacher? I'm talking about a life storm. I'm talking about some that come without warning. You're not prepared for it. Nobody warned you. No sirens waking you up. No meteorologist telling you what to do. I mean, this storm comes. It could be sunshine and blue sky. Everything was fine the other day. Just yesterday when they were telling me how good I was doing on the job, the boss man was shaking my hand. But then today I get a pinch. I'm talking about a life storm. Just when I was going along pretty good, everything was fine, and I feel fine, and I go for my yearly checkup, and they tell me things don't look good. I'm talking about a life storm. I'm talking about a storm when things, you do the best you can to raise your children and whatnot, raise them right, do the right thing, and all of a sudden you get a call saying, your boy is in jail. I'm talking about a life storm. I'm talking about when stuff that hits you out of nowhere. You don't know when it's coming. You don't know how it's coming. You don't know where it's coming from. It comes out of nowhere. Relationship going fine. Everything. But all of a sudden somebody comes and says, baby, it's all over. Just a few months ago, you just said I do, and I from death do us part. I'm talking about a life storm. And these storms here come without warning. These storms here come and just hit you and knock you all around. You understand? And some of us are told about them, but we don't get prepared for them. Just like some of these folk in life, they said we're going to stay because it happened to somebody else, but it ain't never happened for me. So we hunker down. Just like some folks stayed in life and lost everything. Didn't think that they were going to ever have to be rescued. Some folks decided to stay and end up only to have the National Guards come and get them out. I'm talking about, but these are life storms. But we don't pay heed to the warnings of other folks saying the storm is coming, but it can't come down my street. Or it ain't never hit me like this before. You understand? I ain't never seen it like this before. Just hold on. Live long enough. Most of us here, you either in a storm, you coming out of a storm, or you getting ready to go into one. But trust me, a storm will come. And it behooves us to be prepared. And here, leading into the text here. Jesus, these disciples had been with Jesus for a number of years now. They had watched him perform miracles. They had watched him heal the deaf, heal blind folk. The paralyzed was able to walk. They had watched him forgive folk of their sin. They had seen him in all types of elements and whatnot. And they knew him. They knew him like better than anybody else. And there were others who desired to get close to him. But because these disciples were spending so much time with them, some people were even jealous because of the time that he had spent with these disciples. Now he's wanting to take them to another level in their faith. Now you've been with me for a while now, and you studied with me and you prayed with me for a while now, and you've done that. But now he's getting ready to take them to another level. He tells them, he says, get in the boat. Watch this. And not only does he tell them to get in the boat, but he gets into the boat with them. Y'all got time for this? Now, they're leaving, and they're on the Sea of Galilee. 8 miles wide, 8 miles long, and made almost like a saucer. And not long after they're out there, he said, let us go over to the other side. Let us cross over to the other side. Watch this, y'all. Now, he didn't say, let us go under. He said, let us pass over. You understand? If he had said, let us go under, the boat would have sunk. But he said, let us pass over to the other side. Now they're on their way. No sooner than Jesus gets in the boat, watch this, he falls asleep in the hand of power. The back of the boat got a pillow, if you will, and falls fast asleep. And I can understand that. This is the humanity of Jesus. Not the divinity of Jesus, but the humanity of Jesus goes to sleep. He's tired, if y'all will. And I can imagine this kind of tired because here, the early part of the day here, spent all day almost doing a seminar on seed sowing. He talked about how some seed was going to have to be passed on the wayside. Some seed planted on the stony ground. Some seed planted among thorns and thistles. Some seed planted on good. Y'all remember that, don't you? He just got through teaching that. Then I spent another part of his day dealing with his folk, dealing with his mother and them, when they came to get him and thought that he had lost his mind. Said, boy, come on away from here. Thought that he had literally lost his mind. So by this time, he's tired. You ever been like that? I've been tired. Folks, sometimes you come to my office, I start dozing off. Tired. When you're dealing with folk, every day, dealing with folk all the time, sometimes you say, man, I start dozing off. I can see where he's at. And sometimes you need to get a rest. Sometimes we got to rest from our trouble. Sometimes he's showing us that sometimes if you don't get a rest, then you got to come apart and get your rest. Otherwise, you'll fall apart. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes he's showing us that sometimes you got to take rest. And then here, all of a sudden, a storm shows up. Now, the wind is blowing boisterously. The waves is knocking up against the boat. The ship is wrecking back and forth, playing a game of zigzag. And now going almost topsy-turvy. I can see the boat bouncing and whatnot. And yet, here these disciples panic. Jesus! Do you not care that we are perishing? Wake up! Look at this here. One thing that I see in this, don't got time for that. One thing that I see in the text here is that Jesus tells him, let us cross over to the other side. Not only does he say that, but he gets into the boat with them. In other words, I see the presence of Jesus with them. And so it is with us. Even in our storm, if Jesus is not your boat, if you're saved, he's in your boat. You know what I'm saying? He's going up. You're not going across by yourself. But he's in the boat with you. Going across. In other words, I'm telling you, let us cross over to the other side. But I'm not going to chance you crossing over by yourself. You understand? And he knows that you're going to go through a storm. He knows what's going to be. He knows the storm is coming. Amen. And because he knows that the storm is coming, he's right there with you to help you to get through whatever storm that comes your way. Amen. Because he's in the ship. He's in the boat with you. So now you're going up. And the other thing I see is that while he's in your boat, you understand? See, they got some direction. See, when he's in your boat, you got some direction. You ain't really got the pattern because you got some direction. You know where you're going. But if he's not in your boat, it's hard to know where you're going. It's hard to get to your destination if he's not in your boat. You understand? But when they look around and see that he's in the boat with them, not by himself, but with him. See, but yet and still, they panic. Jesus, here, you know, regardless of what goes, here, they're panicking. Like some of us do when the storms and life come, we begin to panic. Not realizing that God's got things under control. You understand? If he's got the power, you understand, to hold the earth on its axis. You understand? If he's got the power, you understand, to hold the sun up in the air, 93 million miles up in the air. You understand? He's got power to do that. He's got the power to hold the stars that twinkle in the silver sockets. You understand? He's got power to control whatever storm that comes in your life. See, let me say it, y'all. Look at that straight. See, a lot of folk don't like to fly here. Some folk, Reb, you fly, I'm scared of it. You don't know. You know, but I don't put my trust in the airplane. I don't put my trust in the pilot to keep the plane in the air. But I put my trust in the God of the universe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That keeps things in the air. He keeps the plane in the air. Who do you have your faith? Do you have faith? Yeah. In the time of the storm. That started once. This little boy was on the ship. And he playing marbles. And the man come over the intercom and said, I want everybody to go to your rooms and brace yourself. Get your life jackets and whatnot, because we're running into a storm. And everybody's scary and running. You know what I'm saying? Get their life jacket and said, don't waste no time. This is an emergency. The storm is approaching. It's getting bad. Everybody go to the room and everybody run. And this little boy, he's sitting in the middle of the ship playing marbles. Yeah, playing marbles. Just shoot. And the man come on and said, look, boy. Didn't you hear the man over the intercom say, get yourself ready, get to your room, you better find your parents. The storm is sitting here. I heard it. He just playing marbles. Now the man come on and said, look, boy, you better get yourself, you better get covered. You gotta get some cover. You know, get with your parents, you know, because the storm's coming. You know, don't you just say, yeah, I can. He just playing marbles. Another man said, man, son, you gotta get up. You gotta get up. It's time to go. You know, the storm is coming in. He said, yeah. He said, did you hear it? He said, yeah, I heard it. He said, why didn't you? He said, because my daddy is the captain of the ship. And my daddy knows that I'm on board the ship. And my daddy is not gonna let nothing happen to his child. The Lord knows that you're on this ship. You know what I'm saying? You got to depend on the Lord and trust the Lord to bring us through our storm, whatever storm that you might be going through. The Lord is the captain of the ship. And he's not going to let nothing happen while he's in your boat. The other thing is, not only do they panic, not only are they afraid, but now here he is saying, go to the other and say, Jesus, don't you care whether or not we perish? And many of us been there too. Have you been there before? Lord, don't you care that I lost my job? Don't you care that me and my spouse done broke up? Lord, don't you care that I can't pay my bills? Don't you care, Lord, that they get around just got an eviction notice? Lord, don't you care what the doctor just now told me? Lord, don't you care? Many of us have been there. Lord, don't you care whether or not we perish? And I say, see, God does care. He does care. God is compassionate. He does care. See, not only do, watch this. He says, gets up, and he speaks to the wind and the wave. The text said he rebuked it. The word rebuke means, you know, to make quiet in the Greek, you know what I'm saying? In other words, it's telling him to shut up. He's not pleading with the wind. He's not saying you upset and you got my disciples scared. He doesn't plead with them. He rebuked. He said, peace, be still. And the waves. See, this not only shows God's goodness, but it shows God's grip. When we're in the storm, God's got a grip, and He is over whatever storm that we might go through. You know what I'm saying? Well, He's right there with us in spite of what we might be going through, in spite of what we might be feeling. He is right there. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, you know what I'm saying, peace, be still. We don't have to panic when you know He's in your boat. Right. You don't have to get upset when you know He's on your ship. You understand? God has got the situation under control. See, he tell her, let us go over to the other side. Now, they don't ask what's over there on the other side. They're not questioning. See, and God doesn't tell them what they expect on the other side. And see, a lot of us, if the Lord told us what was going to be on the other side, a lot of us wouldn't go. That's what we said, no. Y'all remember when Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt. And if the Lord had told them that they were going to run into a Red Sea, they would have never left. Right. You understand? But only when they got to the Red Sea, you understand? And they saw what they was up against. It's too late. They didn't come too far to turn back now. Right. And some of them come too far to turn back now. Too far along, you know, to turn back. We can't turn around. This is why my president saying, go forward, not back. We can't turn around. Yes. And here, see, that, but I like, you know, see, the Lord works, you know, in mysterious ways. You understand? It can be hard on you. It's hard by the yard, but it's a cinch by the inch. You understand? See, he'll give it to a local and see, sometimes, you understand, he'll take us, you understand, an inch at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. You understand? He doesn't give it all to us at one time because we might get frightened and run. That's right. So sometimes, you know, we get a little at a time till we build up our faith. And the Lord has showed me what I was going to have to go through with Exodus and all this opposition I was going to have to face. I would have never tried that. Yes. I would have said, no, If He had showed me all the folks was going to be against me, the battle I was going to have to fight, I said, no, I don't start I don't start no Exodus home. No! If He had showed me, I would never try. But I thank God that He let me go in a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Until my faith was built up. Now let me close with this here. I got a friend that had a little dog, a little French poodle. And this little French poodle, he do all kinds of tricks. But one thing that impressed me more than anything about this little poodle was that every time you say, cookie, this little French poodle would get both paws up in the air and get on his hind legs and start to walk. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to see the cookie, but he knew he was going. When his mouth said, cookie, because he said, watch this here. And he said, cookie. And he stay on these hind legs like this. You know what I'm saying? Looking for the cookie. And if you over there by Linda, you know what I'm saying? You say cookie. And he liked the cookies and cookies. And he get on them hind legs. And he walk over there, even though it be a strain on them two legs. But he walk over there on them two legs and get that cookie. You know what I'm saying? Because he like cookies. So it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord tells us something, you understand? Hey, we've got to be like this little poodle. We got to trust him with his word. You understand? We know that, hey, if we just get to the other side, it's hurting us. We going through it. It's painful and whatnot. You understand? But we know that once we get to the other side, it's going to be sweet. You understand? So we just stay on. Keep on going to the other side. You understand? And sometimes it's going to be hard sometimes. Sometimes the wind going to be blowing sometimes. Sometimes it's painful, but you know that you're going to come out the storm better than you were when you came into the storm. When you come out the storm, it's going to develop you. When you come out the storm, you're going to be stronger. When you come out the storm, you're going to be wiser. When you come out the storm, you're going to be praising God. When you come, so you just got to keep on walking. Keep on praying. Keep on staying. Keep on